So now we're getting to the top 3. So you're probably asking yourself, oh my god, without Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, what could possibly be in the top 3? Well, you're about to know, Mega Knights. The best animal duo since Batman and Robin. It's Banjo-Kazooie! Remember Banjo? That dorky bear wearing yellow jorts in Diddy Kong Racing? Well, this is his game. Now, like Star Fox and Diddy Kong Racing, Nintendo also sent me a promo video introducing Banjo-Kazooie. And wait a minute, is Jon Lovitz narrating?
Listen up, because there's a new dynamic duo from the creators of Donkey Kong Country and
The
GoldenEye.
critic Jon Lovitz?
Stinks.
High School High Jon Lovitz?
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
Weird how they got him to narrate this, but I'll take it. So back in the day, I'd go to Blockbuster Video every weekend to rent a game, and during this time it was summer, and Blockbuster was having a 3-month unlimited rental deal. And when Banjo came out, I immediately snagged that son of a bitch, popped it in, and got engulfed into pure fun. The story is simple. Gruntilda, a witch that has too much confidence to even think she was hot in the first place, finds out from her cauldron that Tootie, Banjo's younger sister, is more beautiful than her. So what does Gruntilda do? She creates a machine that transfers a person's beauty to another, which she intends to use on Tootie. Later, Gruntilda abducts Tootie while Banjo is being a lazy ass and sleeping. Eventually, Kazooie wakes Banjo, and your adventure begins. The game is composed in 9 worlds within the overworld where you have to collect a certain amount of Jiggies. Jiggies are jigsaw pieces to enter locked worlds. Each world has non-linear challenges to get these Jigama things, like defeating bosses, helping NPCs, and solving puzzles. Oh, and jumping over obstacles, of course. And you don't just stay as a bear. Your friendly magical voodoo doctor Mumbo Jumbo can turn you into a pumpkin, a termite, a bee, a walrus, and a crocodile, depending on the challenge you're trying to complete. And one of my favorite things about this game is the way the animals speak. This game specifically tapped into my obsessive nature in collecting. You got Jiggies, Jinjos, honeycombs, golden feathers, and music notes. And like a good nerdy 10-year-old, this game was like video crack to me. Even though the sequel Banjo-Tooie is a better game, Banjo-Kazooie still is a perfect platformer. And once Rare gets done with that boring Sea of Thieves game, I do hope they make a slightly edgier third game to the Banjo series. One can hope.
Become so numb, I can feel you there.
Resident Evil.
How fitting for the sequel of Resident Evil to be in the number 2 spot on my list. Resident Evil 2 is a survivor horror game that is one of my favorite video game series of all time. How I discovered this game was a sweet accident. My friend and I were having a guys' night.
Guys night!
And he rented Resident Evil 2 the day before. What kept grabbing my attention was a zombie image on the cartridge with his flesh melting on the side of his face. I asked my friend, hey, what's that game? He told me, oh, that's a scary game where you shoot zombies and monsters. Considered my interest piqued. After we got done playing Snowboard Kids and Tony Hawk Pro Skater, he eventually got tired and knocked out. Mind you, it was 1 a.m. in the morning. So I kept playing, but I just couldn't help myself look at that damn cartridge again. So I put the game in, plugged my headphones into the TV, and that, my friends, began my love of the Resident Evil series. In the game, you could choose either Claire Redfield, looking for her missing brother and STARS member Chris Redfield, or Leon S. Kennedy, a rookie cop starting his first night on the job for the Raccoon City Police Department. Arguably the best 2 characters in the whole Resident Evil series. Sorry, Jill, you're sexy and all, blah. Can you believe Jill Valentine is modeled over Julia Voth?
So hot. Want to touch the hiney?
The game takes place 2 months after Resident Evil 1. The T-Virus has reached the city from infested rats, and like a damn domino effect, has infested most of the city's population. And when Leon finds out that the city is infested with zombies, he bumps into Claire, and together they try to leave town. But due to a collision, they get separated and both head to the RPD police station. Now, I'd go deeper into the details about the story, but I want you guys to experience it yourselves if you haven't played it. This game solidifies itself as one of the scariest games of all time as well. From the creepy atmosphere to scary ass monsters. Oh, and the music. Just hear the music. As an artist, the designs of the creatures really influenced me. You have zombies, dogs, crows, lickers, alligators, spiders, big moths, ivies, G-types, tyrants, and William Birkin, of course. And believe me when I say I was obsessed with this game after I played it. I still have the box and cartridge in good condition. And I do hope Capcom reveals the remake of Resident Evil 2 this E3 2018. I've been waiting for it for so fucking long. Come on, Capcom. Now, before we get to number 1, I do want to give out some honorable mentions that didn't make it to the list, but were still awesome games on the system. Now, without further ado, I give you my number 1 Nintendo 64 game of all time.
I've become so numb, I can't feel.
Stupid logo. Yeah, that's better. You can get it.
Yup, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Yeah, remember when I told you guys that Conker was not the real Conker in Diddy Kong Racing? Well, this is the real Conker. The vomiting, peeing, toilet paper throwing, zombie killing, titty jumping squirrel. Red squirrel at that. They became a cult classic on the Nintendo 64. You see, kids, before political correctness and SJW snowflakes took a dump on movies, TV, and games, us 90s kids had the privilege to watch the Wild Wild West of media. Look at the commercial.
I was paying for it now.
A hangover's never pretty. But a squirrel with a hangover, that's just obscene. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Rated M for mature.
Yeah, you like that, baby? Yeah, I know you do. I know you like that. I know you love that.
Yeah, this was advertised back in the day. Now witness how Rare portrays Conker now.
Conker is a much beloved property that has a huge following. We worked with Rare and came up with the idea of using young Conker.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
But let's not dwell on the negativity, kids. Let's talk about the story. Conker's story starts off like every college kid's bad night at drinking. Getting shit-faced, trying to return home to his girlfriend Barry, passing out and waking up in a place he doesn't recognize. Who hasn't been through that? Meanwhile, the Panther King, the main baddie of the game, is the ruler of all the land that Conker is lost in. Now the reason he wants to capture Conker is, get this, he needs a red squirrel to replace a leg on his side table. Yup, couldn't make that up. And like most platformers, your goal is to get money. Kinda like how Mario needs stars and Banjo needs jiggies to proceed to new areas. What's different is that the money talks, literally. If you focus on certain areas, you can hear them saying stuff so you can reach them. Also, it's always funny to see the little cutscenes where you could actually grab them. Little snarky bastards.
Over here. So, you want some great stuff?
Yeah, I think the round's on me. I'm gonna get tanked tonight.
If you like the humor of Family Guy, Rick and Morty, and South Park, you'll definitely like the humor in Conker. Breaking the fourth wall, always talking to the player, from fighting a giant singing shit to chomping on a caveman's ass while riding a dinosaur. Conker is probably one of the most crude, funny games next to the modern South Park games. It even parodies movies like The Terminator, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Saving Private Ryan, and my favorite, The Matrix, where you can shoot weasel guards in bullet time. If you haven't played Conker's Bad Fur Day, I urge you to play it. Whether you're a platformer fan, a Rare fan, a fan of crude humor, or a fan of boobs, Conker's Bad Fur Day is among the best, and that is why it is my #1 Nintendo 64 game of all time. Now, let's just have a serious chat here. If I can just say this to Phil Spencer. Look, Halo and Gears of War is losing steam, and you're struggling on having core exclusive titles for the system. Your console has to be more than just guns, shooting, and Forza. You have Cuphead, and that's fucking awesome, dude. But you also have another character that can help you sell consoles with Conker. Microsoft, do not waste Conker as a character. Here's even some ideas I'll throw to you. Make Conker like Deadpool. He can be the Deadpool of video games, which he kinda is already. But make him parody today's movies and TV. Have him reflect gaming culture, video game critics, social media. You have so much material and content to make a parody/satire type of game, and you're letting him be wasted. And we all know what happens when Conker is wasted. He's lost. Well, I hope you like my top 10, guys. And if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. Tell me in the comments if you agree with my list. Share your own list. I'm curious to see what you put in your top 10. Without Zelda and Mario 64 being in it, of course. Also, I included a link to my Tumblr page in the description box where you can read my original comic Shady Lane and also look at my original artwork for Shady Lane. It's a cartoon series I've been creating since high school, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, and hopefully you can share it with your friends, and probably can start an actual series on YouTube. Of course, if we have the funds, because money talks. So, until next time, Omega Knights, peace out.